Hey friends, I know yesterday was Halloween, but let's do one more Halloween artwork before we move on to Thanksgiving and Christmas things. So what we're going to do today is create the Frankenstein picture that you saw at the beginning of this video. And in that Frankenstein picture, we're going to add the principle of contrast by having cool colors next to warm colors. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are going to be doing a drawing with warm and cool colors. So as a quick review, we know the warm colors are the colors on this side of the color wheel that look hot, and the cool colors are on this side of the color wheel. They are opposites. So the opposite color of orange is blue. They're called complementary colors or contrasting colors. Then the opposite of red is green, and the opposite of yellow is purple. When you were little, I taught you how to memorize the warm colors by when I touch it, I would say, woo, hot. So a lot of my younger friends are doing that right now. So Miss Gogol's gonna do a check for you. So I'm gonna touch a color. If it's a warm color, you're gonna go woo, hot. And if it's a cool color, you're gonna go brr. So let's try that now. Woo, hot. Brr. Woo, hot. Brr. Brr. Woo, hot. So that helps you remember the warm colors and the cool colors. Now, when you're a little older, you learn that when you put a warm color right next to a cool color, it creates something called contrast. That's where it stands out. And that's what we're going to do today with our Frankenstein picture. So what we're going to do first, you're going to draw this in pencil first and then outline it with marker, but I'm going to do it with a marker so you can see my lines. We usually do a rainbow arch for the top of the head, but for Frankenstein, we're going to do more of a squared head. So I'm going to go up, across, and down, kind of more squared. We want a square top of the head. Remember to ask Miss Gogol to pause the video anytime you need an extra second. Okay, next we're going to do a diagonal up, and then we're going to do a zigzag line across. So again, I went up, over, down to make a squared off head, diagonal lines in, and a zigzag line across. All right, our next step is to just do a big letter U for his head. Remember, you'll do this with pencil and then outline with black marker in a minute. Then we're going to do a letter C for his ear with another little C inside it, and a backward C with a little backwards C inside it. Now, Frankenstein's monster has scars on him from where Frankenstein sewed him up, so we're going to do a little line. You can just do a straight horizontal line. I just did kind of a curved line. And then I'm going to put little vertical lines through it to look like stitches. Do that with your pencil, and then you can trace over it in a little while. Now we're going to do kind of a thick eyebrow all the way across his face. Now watch me how I do this. I'm going to do a zigzag line across, and then I'm going to do a little line over, with another zigzag line across. And when you color in a few minutes, I wouldn't do it yet since you just have a pencil in your hand, but when you color in a few minutes, you can use your black marker to fill that in to look like a very long eyebrow that's reaching across his face. Now we're going to do the eyes. I'm going to do a big letter U right here and a big letter U right here, kind of attaching to the eyebrows. I can always make the eyebrow a little longer if I need to. Next, I'm going to do kind of a circle shape here and a circle shape here. Another little circle and another little circle. And we've talked about light reflections, where you leave little light reflections in the eye. So I'm going to draw another tiny little circle right there for the light reflection. So let's review that. That's probably easy for my older kids that are doing this video, but for my younger kids, that's a lot all at once. So let's review. So I did a big circle, smaller circle, smaller circle, even smaller, even smaller. And then I did, I'm going to lift it up so you can see, tiny little circles for light reflections. Now, I know you're not coloring yet, but in a few minutes, this inside circle will be the pupil, so it'll be colored in black, but that light reflection will stay white. And then you can color Frankenstein's eyes right here green and leave this one white. I'll show you a finished copy at the end. Next, to keep things a little simple, I'm just going to do kind of a rainbow arch shape for his nose. I'm going to do a few little wrinkles and lines on his eyes, like that. Make it kind of look like he's scowling or making a grumpy face. You can put some lines in his forehead too to kind of make it look like he's making a grumpy face. Then for his mouth, I'm just going to do a big zigzag line, and you can outline that in black in a minute. And I'm going to do a little curved line for a chin. So again, I did nose, wrinkles from a scowl, zigzag line for the mouth, little line for the chin. Okay, next we want the bolts in his neck. Frankenstein's monster was made, so he has these bolts in his neck. So we're going to do 2 lines out, 2 lines out, with a little rectangle on the end, little rectangle on the end. Then I'm going to go out, down to the bottom of my paper, out, and down to the bottom of my paper. That's his shoulders. I'm going to do 2 lines down. That's his shirt. And then a sideways triangle and a sideways triangle for the lapels on his jacket. Now we want Frankenstein's monster here to look like he's wearing older clothes, so we're going to put a patch. To do a patch, I'm just going to draw a square anywhere on his jacket. I'll put one over here and one over here. Oop, drill on the table. And then I'm going to put little lines through around the edges to look like stitching. Little lines through around the edges to look like stitching. Then you can decorate the background any way you want. I'm going to put a crescent moon behind him to make it look like he's outside. I didn't leave a whole lot of room back there for a background, so I'm going to make a crescent moon back here. I could put a bat flying through the sky to do a bat. It's a tiny circle with little triangles on top for the ears. rainbow arch shape on each side like this. I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see. And then a zigzag line in and a zigzag line in. I could put a few of those around in the background. I could put stars. We learned how to draw kind of like a haunted looking castle last week. You could do that behind him on a hill. So you can decide what's behind him. I'll let you do that any way you want. Now, we want him to stand out from the background. We know that Frankenstein is going to be green. You could color him a light green. Let's see what else I have over here. I also have a dark green. So when you color this, I want you to be thinking about color choices. Since I'm gonna have greens on his face, maybe on his clothes, I want maybe a pop of a warm color to make it stand out. So maybe an orange for his shirt, okay? Or if I have a purple for his jacket, I will want the patches to stand out and pop a little bit. So if I have purple for his jacket, I might have yellow for the patches, okay? If I have blue for the sky, I might want yellow or orange for the moon to make it stand out. Think about putting warm colors next to cool colors to create contrast. All right, I hope you have fun. I'm excited to see these. If you need to finish your project from last week, Miss Gogol has those and she can pass those out. And after you draw this, if you want to finish that first before you outline and color this, you can, and she can pass those out. So now that it's drawn, if you want to finish last week's artwork first, you can. Or if not, you can go ahead and start outlining this out with black marker and coloring it with crayons. All right, bye.